So you may have wondered, what are Kenyans like? I am Kenyan. I have been all my life, and I think I'm the best person to answer that question for you. So Kenyans. You may have heard of Kenyans from a lot of places. Obama, whose dad was from Kenya, um, and you may have heard of the marathoners who keep on winning all of these races who are from Kenya. And you may be wondering, what's up with Kenya? Why are Kenyans winning so many things? Or why? Well, who are these Kenyans? Now, the thing about Kenya is that it's a big country. You'd consider it like a big state in the US, for instance, because we have about 40 million people living in Kenya within its boundaries. And so the few people who we've heard of, like Lupita Nyong'o, Barack Obama, the athletes, those are just a small population of who we are as a people. So generally, there are things that hold us together as a country and things that we would identify as Kenyan and Kenyan tendencies that you'd expect from almost all Kenyans. Whether you're interacting with them in your home country or whether you're coming here in Kenya to visit, here are things that you should expect of what Kenyans are like. Now, this is a difficult question to answer, though, is because like, what exactly are you asking when you're asking what they are like? So, to answer this question, probably this is going to help you understand us more. I'm going to answer it in the direction of what are tendencies that you'd expect to find in most of Kenyans. So the first is that Kenyans are very warm, very very inquisitive. Well, inquisitive is different. They're warm and they're friendly. I think friendly is the best word to use. Kenyans generally, especially when dealing with, well, everybody, we generally are polite. Well, the thing is, we're not necessarily polite. We are friendly. We are not the type of people who will like leave you be. We are generally friendly as a nation, and so you'll find people to be very generous when they're talking to you, when they're interacting with you. They're going to be very generous in their kindness and very open. They will like invite you to their houses. They will like buy you stuff. Well, not really. They will expect you to buy you. They'll expect you to buy them stuff. But yeah, that's one thing about Kenyans. A few Kenyans, which like are not, is not very good. Doesn't give a very good picture of us as people. But generally, we are generally very warm. The other thing about us as Kenyans is that we are respectful, especially to elders, to people who are older than us. We like paying a lot of respect to people. We want to be seen as as respecting our elders and giving them the respect that they deserve as their elders. And so for that reason, you'll find a lot of Kenyans like especially like, let's say you're in a bus and you're young and someone old walks in, it's generally accepted that you as a young person will stand up and allow them to sit. If there's a lady who is pregnant and she walks into a room, they allow her to go right ahead and take the first spot on the queue, because again we like to be respectful that way. Now, not all Kenyans will be like this, but this is just something you would expect from many Kenyans. The Kenyans, if you visit any Kenyan home, be sure that you're going to be served with something. It's considered rude not to serve someone with something when they come to your home. So for instance, if you've come to my house, I would have to offer you something. Not really have to, like in that have to, but it's generally expected that you will have something, at least tea. That's the very minimum. And so expect to drink it. And it will be considered rude not to accept it. Again, there are ways of like saying, oh, probably next time and so on, but don't just flatly say, no, I don't want any. That will plainly be rude, because generally people they like offering that kind of stuff. Again, you'll find it interesting, probably in the West, and something I've found when, especially when interacting with people from the West, is that they will ask you, "Are you hungry? Can I feed you?" Now, here's the thing about Kenya: they will never. Actually, it's considered rude to ask someone whether they are hungry. If they have come from a journey, if they've come to visit you, they expect that the expectation is that you wouldn't ask that kind of question, that you will just offer and then it will be refused. And so don't, especially when if you're welcoming someone into your home in Kenya, don't ask them if they are hungry. That will actually be the first time someone from the West, my American friends, asked me this. Katie and Dave, if you remember, I never mentioned this to you, but it's very jarring when you hear someone asking you, do you want to eat? Generally, you'd find that food is placed on your table, and you'll find this when you're visiting, that food is placed on your table, then you'd have to refuse if you really cannot eat, compared to when they ask you, are you hungry? And then they'll offer you something. And so that's the other thing about Kenyans. They're generally generous like that. Now, the other thing about us is that we do not, we are not very, we're not very direct. Let me put it that way. That we do not ask questions that directly. We will insinuate if there's something that is uncomfortable. We do not ask something directly. We more generally ask in a coded way. Sometimes, not in everything, but you'll find interactions happening like that. That it's more coded than like straight at you. And so if you're used to having like questions asked to you directly, then you most likely will find that we like going round in circles. Now, these are some of the things about us as Kenyans that you may find unique about compared to other cultures, but that's us. One final thing I want to probably add as a final bonus tip is that we like to haggle. And so especially when you're buying something from a Kenyan here in Kenya, they already mark it up and expect you to like negotiate downwards. And so it's not rude, it's not considered rude to bargain and trying to get a better deal and ask for a discount. And if you can watch one of the other videos I've done about like some words that you can use in Kenya to impress people. Now, if you will need to learn how to negotiate, especially when you're dealing with vendors here in Kenya. Thank you so much for watching this. I'm creating way more content about Kenyan culture and about culture within East Africa, what's accepted, what's not, and going to like Masai Mara national parks like those for you to be able to have a glimpse of what that looks like. So if that's something that interests you, please make sure you subscribe and hit the thumbs up, share this video with someone who you think is going to enjoy it. And if you're going to Kenya, I am sure you want to subscribe and watch all of the videos that I've done because I'm sure they're going to be of use to you. Thank you so much for watching this, and as always, keep traveling.